into your heart to find you. Open up your eyes till you're blinded by the lies, so you can see what you do. Restless every time we start locking as a lost control. Oh, it's paradise with honesty, but at heart, in the dead of the night, teardrops on the floor. The pain is over, feel the darkness take control.
Don't tell me I've been speaking to myself. And have I? I'll be insane. Right. Okay. So give me a few minutes. I'll look into this sound thing. There is a way to do this. I can't remember though. Could be that one.
Told my boss that I'm done. Had no luck with my mom. Say, what will you do with your life? You know it's hard to survive. A cigar in my mouth. Maybe guilty but proud. Now I'm an outlaw on the run. Dangerous but it's so fun. Running, running, no. Hold on, don't let go. Running, running, no. Keep running.
How about this? Feels like it's louder, right? Let's try something along these lines. But also what I want to try is why aren't alright. I don't know. I do not know. One last test before. So I'm just gonna mute myself. So no music for a short while. Actually, let's do this. I'll be right back again. All right. What's happening? Are we? Is it really low? Probably, right? I think to have. Okay. Yeah. All right. Awesome. Turning you off. And I think that's it. It's really professional, isn't it? Me scuffing out. I should really sit down at some point and properly set all of this up. But it's a learning process. I'm learning. So. Yeah, what else happened? It's really sensitive. Does it really pick up everything I'm doing? I'm not sure I'm liking that. And I don't know how to, if it's worth my time adding filters at this stage. A decision needs to be made. And I'm going with, I'll deal with it today. It has to be, it will all be, I'll take my time during the afternoon and until next stream to see if I can optimize the setup a bit. Alright. Okay, fun stuff aside. I mentioned I wanted to try a different approach to the level design. We did learn a few things yesterday. So let's see if we can learn a few more things today. What I need to move on, I want a proper understanding of what's fun about the mechanics I have. There is something there, I don't know what yet. I have suspicion. And a few ideas I think I want to try out. Instead of the player walking around with a light, lantern. Well, there would still be a lantern, I think. But right now, that lantern doesn't do much other than repelling some fog. Some fog. So instead of doing that, I might have, again, inspired by Get the F Out. How about we do something like you walk around with an object instead? I need to refine that idea a lot more, because what else will you do with that object? I think there could be something along the lines of carrying an object, putting it down at certain moments to avoid something or not take damage, whatever one you call it. But yeah, not sure what to do with that. So for now, let's see if we can get some inspiration by building another level. We're going to use the same scene as yesterday, but we're going to move to the side. So with that said, let's jump into our reel. We'll do it like this. So yesterday, we'll look into this quickly. We made this. And looking at it, I'm not super inspired, but there are a few parts, right? I'm going to be a bit repeating myself a bit, but I like the upper parts. This part that I have stairs going down to into some kind of play area or dangerous area. And these white parts were meant to be like negative space. We could add more verticality or remove verticality, or is it that the right part? I mean, it is still verticality if you push down into pit, I guess. But yeah. Why aren't you? Because I'm not in the right spot. I was trying to move back, couldn't. That's because my left hand was one key off. So there we go. Yeah, I think I want to try something. So let's give ourselves some space. And one thought I had yesterday while trying to go to bed. It's also one thing that keeps you up at night. All these thoughts going through my head. So what I want to try is a spherical playing area. So I'm going to try with... So let's start with a large cylinder. I'll make it quite large too, right? Or tall. So let's go with the cylinder. Let's make it, what will be a reasonable one? Let's say, I don't know, it needs to be something, so let's do 10,000, so 10 meters. Radius, 200 is way too small, so that's 2 meters. Do that times 100. That's a big one. Divided by 2. I think that is also still quite large. And we'll go with 16 segments. Yeah, let's go with 16. I don't want to be like overkill on these things. Let's also go with, let's just move this up first, see what we're looking at. That's insanely large, isn't it? Well, maybe 10. So every unit times 100, that's my meters, right? So let's go with 8 times 100. Let's say 800, but now 1,000. No, 8. Was I doing like 100 units? 100 meters tall? I was, wasn't I? Yeah, I think I was. So what I need is a 800 units. No, 1,000. 1,000. And we need to throw you down. That's a lot better. Okay. Next, we're going to copy this. We're going to make a duplicate of cylinder. What happened just there? We're going to push you right back. Let's make the walls 2 meters thick. And let's make it a subtractive. Just for the sake of it, we're also going to add 200. That's just to make sure that there's no... I don't think it's a problem, but I don't want to see fighting like it's perfectly on the flat surface type of thing. The two top and bottom planes of the cylinder to like absolutely overlap. No, I want some distance between them. And again, like I just said it, it might be unnecessarily, but from experience with 3D stuff, this is usually necessary, or at least a safeguard in this case. Okay, that was the last coffee. I do have more, but I need to stand up and get it, but I'll wait. I have some water too, so it's fine. And next, what I was thinking is to add quite a lot of pillars and other obstacles in this. It's like scattered fairly uniformly across the entire thing, and you would have to navigate between them. I do want to remember there's a game. I have an image in my head. I can't remember the name of it though. I believe it's more... It is 3D in a sense, but you have like 2D characters coming at you. It feels like you're in a big parking garage. That's what I do want to remember. But it was like you couldn't see very far in the distance. And that's kind of the vibe I want to go for. That and the GTFO to get the F out stuff. So let's try adding a ton of pillars. Should I go for cylinder? Let's go for cylinder. And zoom in. And width-wise, 2 meter in radius. That's quite big. I want to see if it's. It does feel like they're writing it's an outer radius on the cylinder, right? And it is an outer radius of 2 meters. This cube is 2 by 2. All right, fair enough. I thought it was 1 by 1. So it's a. What would it be? Would it be a 2 cubic? No, it wouldn't. 2. But pi of 3. I can't remember. It's been so long since I used those terms. Alright. Let's go with 12. I think 200 is way too extreme. I think 100 would probably be too small. Maybe not, because the play would be roughly this size, which would mean that it's wider than you. And I like that. I like the idea of being big enough to feel slightly like imposing. Height. What's the height of the cylinder again? That's 12. I don't want it to reach the entire top. Do I? No, but I do want it to be more than 8. Let's go with 800. And let's move you up 400, I think. And are we? We are. Okay. I went silent just quickly. I want to see. So the effect I'm looking at right now is kind of what I want. The fading out and making it feel like it's just continuously upward. What I don't like, or I'm thinking could be adjusted a bit, is the height again. I think we'll go. So this is 16 now, so let's go for 12. Do that. Move you. No, actually, what we're going for is 1,000. 12 is too much. Yeah. And let's place these things all over the place, like a ton of them. Probably could at some point write a script, like a PCG thing, to make this happen. And what are these? This is 500. 5 meters between each. Let's see, 5,000. Put you in this spot. So, okay. Not to go super silent here. I think that if I could add one at each one of these, the crossings, right? Let's try that. I want to try that first. Okay, this is what I don't like working with. These volumes, copying just takes forever. Okay. Actually, what I also want to do is make sure we are on a separate level folder for this. So let's go with Cylinder layout 1. Yes. Now I need to copy these. I said copy them. There you go. Go. I don't know if it's my computer or if this isn't a real thing, but each time I try to copy these, it takes a while. Come on. Yeah, okay. It's not perfectly symmetrical. That is fine. Or maybe I can just double check, see the numbers on these. Let's see if we can add you as like a perfect center type of thing. I need you. I need these two. So where's the center? There's 3. There's 3. So this is the center. Okay. It's just gonna jump between those two. So let's go. Make you 50 instead. Which means I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, that should be a center. Back to this. And then down to these 4. So next, what we want is to cover these. Alright. So up. There we go. Oh, come on. The lag is real. Hello. There we go. Really fun. I can kind of holding my breath each time. So let's do save. Alright, let's try and copy this like that. There we go. And like that. Okay. See what happens if we just probably more of them. It's way too far apart, isn't it? And I'm starting to feel I should probably just use regular cylinders instead of these volumes. They really do slow things down. Alright. Oh no. I really want to give this a proper shot. Now I just give up because I'm feeling it's not working right now. I think it could work. Let's stop with the cylinders, I think, with these types and go with regular static mesh cylinders. I think that could be more efficient for me. Yeah. Alright. Where are you? Okay. Let's do that. Let's go back to this view. Go for a cylinder. View. There we go. Alright, so the units we had was I think it was 2 in diameter, which would make these 2 like that. U will be a 10, right? That will be 500. That's a weird feeling, having to put 500 for units to move it up, but if I want to scale it, I just do it with 5 times a multiplicable function. I don't know. I do not know. There's a lot of stuff I do not know. So, next step would be, let's make it a, so each one of these would be 500, so that's 5 meters each. It's no wonder I couldn't see them. I was thinking I was doing 5 meters between them. I wasn't. I was doing 25. Let's try. This could be a lot of pillars. Let's try to do 1, 2, 1. Let's put you up top. Isn't that in the center? It's not. Isn't each one of these 50? They're not. Oh, they're then 500, of course. Okay, so 1, 2, and a 50. I think that's correct. There we go. I need you to be over here, and I want to probably do this a lot easier for me, just typing it in. And then, what is it, 1250 in the Y. So I'm going to go to U, I'm going to add, I'm going to try and add 1250. That's going backwards. So what I want to do is subtract 1250 instead. Okay, so now I don't have each square, but I have this first grid done. I'm gonna keep that. See what it looks like. That's negative x. So every value that is, subtract 1250. It not work. So let's do it like this. Nope. I'm gonna grab you. Not super fond of the selection options in Unreal. Not gonna lie. Right, then I want you to be moved like that, but we're gonna. Is it really on 0? Seems like it. All right. And I want to move you plus 1250. And the next step would be, and I select you. Without selecting anything else. Thought this was selection. I think this is a more fun level. Let's just try something. I'm gonna place myself like this. Imagine if I missed all of them. Okay, this one is 2. has a chance this too tight. Then again, I'm gonna add some fog. I'm gonna have some other stuff lying around. I think we're fine. So now what I want is to, first of all, is that all of you? Almost. Let's see, what should we call you? Let's call you room layout 1. Gonna hide you. Why are you like that? It's because I hid a lot of the volumes, the brushes. Could be. And like that. And if you didn't know, you can actually go and right click move to a folder like that. It's a good thing to know. You move to folder off. Not sure what to do with you two. I'll keep it as is for now. Then let's go with these. Can I do it this way? I cannot. All right. Let's go back to top and select these one by one. All right. This is going to be a tedious process, I think. Hopefully well worth it. Who knows? But what I want now... Okay, I need to do a 1250 again. I think I do. So let's do that. It looks like I need to subtract again. Can I... Is there like a repeat button in Unreal? I thought there was. Can I look it up? Let's see, Unreal Engine. Repeat last command. Is that one? We do last command. Someone said it's Control Y. I don't think that's the case. Didn't work, so I don't think that's the case. But it would be nice to have something like that. I know that a lot of other software do have like a repeat last command. Because it would be nice in this case if I could do something like a combine two commands or somehow. Duplicate and then move X amount of steps. In my case, that's what I did. That would be nice instead of trying to align it like this. But then again, oh, what went wrong? There we go. Then select this row. I was confident that you could do a drag select. I need to look that up too. Unreal Engine. Drag select. Okay. Someone's mentioning that it's Alt, not Control Alt. Oh, there we go. Okay, I can see it. That is nice. Question is though, do I have anything else? I don't need the cube. That's what I'm thinking. That's also one thing. I'm thinking it had this been Blender and I've done something similar. I don't think I would have selected the cube, which is my floor. Because you had to have like a certain either amount within that drag select, or it needs to be the origin point, I think. Not sure, but I do feel that is what it is. Isn't that like, I don't know what to do, insert meme stating the obvious or something like that. Alright. And I can do that, but I need one in the middle. So can I just drag and select you? Go do that. That's why is it giving me multiple values? No, that's not multiple values in Y. What are you talking about? Oh, it's again the cube. Alright, let's do this with you. Let's lock you. Can I then do that? I can't. Alright. Let's do it like this then. Stubborn thing. Okay. Let's add 1250. After we've done that. Alright. Next is to select you. And do that. Select you. And add 1250. I don't need you or you. Alright. Now we're getting somewhere. What was our... It looks insane when I look at it from above. Well, I think we can play around with it a bit. We could, in the future, add variations of these. Maybe someone's broken down. We could have maybe something falling from the sky, like from the roof part. Like, imagine that. Perhaps it was built in a way that you didn't have access to a super flat surface, so you had to build around everything. So this part, like these, could have been built around an existing rock formation or something like that. That could be cool. We can add a second room. One thought I had last night was the final solution, or the final goal, was to open this center type of door opening. Can't remember the name. Like, imagine having a staircase going down, or maybe going up. That could be cool. You walk upstairs to get out, something like that. Or we can talk about chapters. Like, you need to go down to go out, and that's the end of this chapter. But we could add a cool thing at the center of this. Perhaps we should. So center, what would that be? So this is center line. And we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 13. I can just look that side. That would mean the 7th. 2, 4, 6. You are the center one. So let's actually remove you. I'm actually going to remove these. No, let's do this first. Rather than just removing, what I'm going to do is expand you to something along these lines. That's 37. That's a big ass thing. Well, it will be a reasonable size. 20 meters? Yeah, I think 20 meters could be reasonable. So these two, this would be 20. So 10 is way above what we need. So instead, let's go with... So one is a full meter. So let's go with 0.2. And we need to move it down. That worked. Next, I need to select all but you and delete. Why is that like a shadow? That's a shadow, okay. And that, I have something going on. I could add a few more stuff, like we could have, I guess, like a cube in this area. Not something big, something you can walk above, just like a decoration on top of things. We could also, which could be fun, let's add you. And I think what I can do, not sure, I think this is possible, holding down V. Isn't that possible? Yeah. I can snap to these points by holding down V. I think it's possible. It's just snapping to some kind of grid. I don't know. So here's what I'm thinking. Just pure decorative thing. So let's go into this and look at it from here. I'm going to up this. Let's give it a 45, 30, 45, and just add something slightly decorative. Doesn't have to be anything insane. And I'll go back to that. Like this. This is just to add some type of flavor. It's not really necessary for what I'm trying to do today, which is exploring. What? Not that one. I need to. Is it control? Yeah, it's control. Yeah. So what was that? Yeah, it's more of the exploration thing right now. So all of that last 3, 4, 5 stuff I did was completely unnecessary, really, but I do feel like it added something to it. So what we can do, for sake of just exploring, I'm also going to go to blueprints. I'm gonna add my end game. Where are you? Endpoint end. Please ignore the naming convention on these things. While I was working on them, I was early on the project. I was like, you know what this needs to be differentiated from everything else I've ever done and will ever do. So I need to call it Nightshade Endgame of it. So Nightshade is the code name for this project. So I was like, yeah, let's add that. Yeah, that's a good prefix, right? Gonna be fine. In the end, I just realized it's just no point. The chances that I'm gonna copy this over to a different project or any other project interfering in any way, I don't know how, but anyway, with this is slim to none. And yeah, so I was dumb. Oh, rather than dumb, I think it's more like unnecessary. Didn't really add anything to what I was working on, trying to do anything like that, so. Alright. Yeah, I'm starting to like this a bit. I don't know how it's going to be like gameplay-wise, but just pure looks, I'm digging it. I think it could be cool. And let's finalize all the other stuff around it. Which means I need to do that. I need these. Again, the cube. I don't need you. And I need to move these. This time I need to be subtracted 1250. I don't think I need to do a final one. No, but that's going to be out in this part, so no. So you are going to be right there, so I need these. I'm going to add 1250. Same with these, you're going to be in the wall, which is what I don't want, but I'm going to choose you either way. I'm going to go all the way. That one. That is, again, that bench to right. Feels like I selected something I shouldn't. Looks alright. Go, and it's another subtract. 50. Yes, then I need these. Add, move. 12. Oh, I subtracted 1250. I needed to add 1250. It's been a tough week for my voice. This is like the 4th day in a row I'm talking straight for a few hours. I'm not saying I can't do it. I'm just saying it's straining, but it's fun. Alright, so what am I looking at? I don't know. Honestly. Never mind. I need to keep moving. So let's see. I'm gonna try. Does this work? It does. So what I did there was there's a shortcut to select everything else similar type. So all my cylinders in this level are now selected, and you do that by selecting one of them and then Shift E. That will throw them into a selection like this. And I'm just going to confirm that I'm not selecting anything I don't want to. I don't. So I'm going to move you to cylinder layout. Then I assume, not all of you, but these. Part of that. I'm also going to move you to cylinder. Sorry. Alright, so should I actually move these to a different scene? I'm not sure I want like multiple fog processes going on, and certainly not multiple post processes going on. Okay, let's do, what was that? Why? Undo move? No, I want you to be in that. So, and save as. Can I do that? No. Save current level as. Let's go to level experiment 2. Then we're going to delete a few things. Then we're going to select all of you inside this folder. I believe it's Control G to make you a selection or a group. And it should be, where are you? Usually some kind of, there we go, group actor. Okay. And what's your position? Can I make you 0? I can't. Why is it doing that? Does that make sense? Does it make sense? I don't think it does. Alright, if you're going to be like that, then I'm going to do this instead. I'm going to do cube, add you to the center to see what that is. I should have known. We're going to move all of you down. Okay, back to 100 then. It's almost there. It's to 50. There we go. Now we have the center of the world. And I'm going to take that cube, remove it. Is my end game. There you are. Let's move you back to the center. Then I'm gonna go from player start. So X is usually what we call forward. So let's move you all the way over here. So, all right, we're getting somewhere. I'm gonna remove these two. There we go. Post process. So, question for anyone out there. Is it a dumb idea to have a post process in a blueprint? So what I'm missing right now is that, what would you call it? The bounding box, I guess, of a post process volume. Usually what you would see if you do a post process. I'm sure everyone already familiar with this. Is that small cube. I don't think I have this on my post process. No, not that I can see. No, and the reason I would, maybe it's just way too big. No, it's not there at all. And the reason is I want a blueprint because I want it to be, how should I say it? I want the settings, right? Is there another way for me to do it? Could I do it using a material, or is it even more reasonable to use a level blueprint? But then again, I'm back to once I swap to another level, I have to also duplicate that blueprint logic, right? Is it time for like a 5-minute research and session? I think it is. Let's, because I do want to know if it's possible. Part of me says it is. Another part tells me that it might be a setting in the current blueprint, because I've set it as unbound. What if unbound removes that little thing, whatever you want to call it? What happens? No. So it's right there, still there. And that's because of the brush. There's a brush component. Okay. What if no, I can't do it, because if I do, I've tried, which what I was thinking is, what if I take the post-process volume and make a blueprint out of it, through convert selection to blueprint? I can't. Select actors can be. So this is limited. What is it about this setting that I want then? Nothing. Really? Nothing? I had to change something. Right? I'm pretty sure I changed exposure. Didn't I? No, I did. So why isn't it? Show only modified properties. I did that. Are you telling me I modified all of these things? Come on, Unreal. Alright. It's not a big deal. I can just do this. What is it? I set it to -5. I'm just gonna do. Alright, I'm gonna do this. Remove you. I'm gonna set you at the center. I am then. Don't need that. Exposure. Do auto. Let's do these two, -5, -5. And then build you off. So out of these 10, 20, 80, 100. 20. Turn you off. Let's do 20. Let's get to the side. Move you up to roughly that part. Yes. Does feel what is it? What's it called? The anime. Titan something. Lost it. Oh well. I'm gonna have a few more changes now. I'm gonna grab some coffee. I need it. I only have 1 cup today. Maybe I should just do it right now. Probably should. Alright. The coffee is ready, so all I need to pour up, add some milk to it, then I'll be back. So let's say less than a minute. Let's go for a minute for now, but I'll be back in a short while. There we go. Quickly. Quick coffee. Alright, cheers. So good. Used to be an opponent, or rather, that's harsh. I didn't like it though. Didn't like the idea of these variations of milk back in, like, going back a few years. Milk is milk, right? Though, although I still think milk is milk, and there's nothing that can replace it. That's my opinion. I do like adding oat milk to my coffee. It's just creamier. It fits the bitterness of the coffee. It's good. It's really good. All right. Let's see if we could add a few quick. Is my cylinder missing? No, it's still there. I want to add a quick, like, things. My players over here. Let's start. That is my fog. I need to update my fog. Of course I do. I'm doing that using a cube. That cube needs to be adjusted like this. It's really annoyingly rough. There we go. Let's make it 210, 210, and I think 10 meters is fine because I don't think my fog goes all the way up. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Let's see. There is some fog, okay? So I'm going in, look. Let's see what it looks like in game. That's not what I'm after, is it? I think what I want is a denser fog, and I want it close to the ground. Or we what's up with my lights? All of a sudden I can see all the way at the top. Are they way too intense? They're way too intense. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff I need to do. First of all, let's go with the character stuff. Let's open character. Don't need that. I need my character. And I want to go to my lights. So the intensity that's 5. One reason why it feels bigger though, or more bigger, more intense, is the fact that I'm using light, solid colors around it. I think if I were to, let's try this instead. Let's select all of these. Let's ungroup them first. Then I need to find let's go to all content. Let's find MI. Do I have some MI materials? I do. Alright. What could be an interesting material too? And let's placeholder. Dry sand. Rock could be interesting. Matte. I'm not sure what that is. Need something that is tileable. I have this rock sand. No. Small rock. I don't think these are tileable. Base tile. What are you? Let's try. That's gonna be insane dumb, right? I want. Why is it hard to select one of these? Should we make a? I can just make it solid though. Yeah. Okay. Let's go for materials. Is that my materials? On my base, what are you? Yes. Yeah, I guess that works. I need to go to instances, coal mine floor, dry sand. Let's just go with dry sand, see what it looks like. I'm going to select all of you and then just add it. It might look insanely dumb. I don't think so. Let's go with that. Can I do the entire thing? No. Is it per tile? That's insane. But it's quite quick. And that's enough. No, it's not. I need to select these two. Now that's enough. It's just going to be completely brown, is it? Okay, so yeah. So the upside, so you can already tell that it's a lot darker, right? It doesn't feel like the light is stretching as far. I think that works for me. As again, we're on a placeholders level. We're just trying things out. It's nothing really too fancy. But I do want to remove that from the ground though. That annoys me. Yeah, it looks like they're floating. So one downside to this level design is that it's really hard to navigate. I have no idea where I'm going. I'm just walking, and I can be walking in circles. It's kind of like the forest effect. If you walk around in the forest thinking you're walking straight, you're not. Though in this case, as long as I just hold forward, I am walking forward. I'm not going to slowly drift off. There you go. So now I'm at the center. Which would mean I can end the game, because I can just click this and end the game. And so these types of effects is kind of what I want, at least in areas where I want the feeling to be, like the player to be oppressed. Not depressed, oppressed. Like a feeling of I'm surrounded by these just pure darkness that I can't really see more than a few feet. Let's say maybe 9 feet, 12 feet ahead of you. In meters, or as a European, that will be what, 34 meters or something like that. Maybe 5, which would be roughly 15 feet. No, wait, 15 feet, is that really right? No, there's 3 yards. No, it's 1 meter equals roughly very close to a full yard. I think it's like 0.9 something, and there's 3 feet in a yard. It's been like, what, 8-10 years since I really used the empirical system. And even back then, I didn't use it a lot. Alright. And the reason for that is I used to live in the US. So, for school, I studied. So that's why I learned you had to use it, because I also played golf, and golf at that time, the courses, golf courses only used yards. So if you saw one of those measurements in the grass saying, hey, it's 50, then it will be 50 yards. And for me, that would be, oh shit, I need to add 10%. Because I was used to my clubs going a certain distance in meters. So if I grab this like a sandwich, sounds like I said sandwich, no, sand wedge, or pitching wedge. The pitching wedge would probably be like 100 meters or 110 if I really pushed it. Well, that would be in yards, 120, 130 yards. And I was like, holy shit. So people were kind of annoyed at me for taking my time. But hey, can you really blame me? I had to do math, right? Weird stuff. But it is what it is. Alright, this annoys me. I need this either way, so I'm just gonna make this. I usually have at least one of these mouse materials done for each project. And I need to do that. So what it is, it's just a simple material that uses solids as its base color. Nothing really fancy. And let's roughness stuff. Let's just make that a 1. Actually, let's just add roughness. But it could be base default, could be 1. Specular is fine. Metallic, I'm never going to use that in these types of materials. Alright, apply. Thank you. And let's do that. That is make a material instance over here. Where are you? Right there. Move it out. And let's just pick some color. And I want that one. That's fine. Let's do it like that. I'm also gonna rename it quick. Probably should actually name it something else. Let's call it Rock Beige. And then we need to go to this one, add it to that. Oh, that's way too bright. Why is it that bright when it's so low in value? Yeah, it's good nuts then. That was too much. I'm doing some ridiculous fine tuning here, but I can't help it. I need to. That's close enough. And do that. You. Do that. And if I do this then. Alright. Right. What else could we do? I'm guessing we could start adding the various seers, or well, some calling them seers. What they are just these blueprints that keep track of the player. When the player gets close, it's just like, hey, you are a player, so I'm going to do this. Yep, let's start introducing a few of these in some areas. So the player's over in this part. So chances are we're going to enter this area. So let's add you to this part. And let's also add it to that part. It's really a haphazard. I'm similar to what we did yesterday. I feel like this is not going to be the final solution. The final layout in any shape or form. There's going to be parts I can feel could be interesting. That center part, that's a cool idea. I kind of like the idea of having these pillars. One thought that kind of hit me right now, which would be cool. I'm sure there are a few of you who played World of Warcraft. And then you have the dungeon. It's not the armory, the Scarlet. You have the armory, the graveyard, the monastery, right? Which one is this? Is it the armory I'm thinking of? So there's a boss, the spitting guy. Never remember his name. Never tried to remember his name. But you lock up his room. You unlock his room. You enter, and he's at the center of that room, but at the bottom of a staircase. It's not exactly a spiral staircase, but it is going around him. Then you enter the center. I think that could be a cool idea. Let's see if I can find him or that layout. Would it be the Enclave? No, that's okay. Scarlet Dungeons. Let's see what they are. Yes, too many. Remove. Okay, so it is Herod. That's the guy I'm thinking of. And Scarlet Dungeon. Herod. To find a decent image. Let's see. Might be hard to find. I'm not sure if people grab screenshots of that part. Someone is close. It's a Wowhead image, and there's also one from the Ancient Game Newbie. Okay. I could probably show you all. So what I'm looking at is, so we have this one. I mean, it's not perfect, but I can kind of see some of the staircase up here. This one's even better. You have more of the staircase. I like that. Do we have... Alright, here we go. It's another one. It's a decent one. You walk on... No, we don't want to go there. We just want to open... There we go. Right? Okay. So what we'll make it a lot larger than this. But I like the idea of verticality. I mentioned this at the start of the stream. That I want to add some verticality to the level. And if we could go with the spiral staircase down to a flat surface, then down again into a open area where you would have you know which game, again, it's a Blizzard game. It's a game that really does, in my mind, these verticalities, this cool stuff really well. That's Diablo. Their dungeons, or their dives, I don't want to call them. Those are really cool. I should probably grab some inspiration from that. Let's see. I'm gonna add this real quick to my... Don't I have that open? Like close that board. That's my other board. I need this board. Right, so we're getting somewhere. What else do we need? So let's see. Blizzard. I can't spell. Diablo. What is a good search term? Like dungeons? I'm actually thinking. I think in my head it is Diablo 3. I'm thinking of, which is probably maybe not the most liked of the Diablo ones, but that's the first that comes to mind because that's likely the one I played the most. And what else do we have? It's kind of hard to find an exact image of what I have in mind. Alright. How about... I'm not saying we are going to copy, but we're going to be heavily inspired. One level layout would be heavily inspired by a Diablo dungeon. Again, in my head, how to implement the eye that goes above you with this still doesn't work for me. Then you have the blueprint that detects the player, my seer, right? It's easily avoided, really easily avoided. it will start lighting up. Then you realize, hey, I'm just gonna walk around you. I could force the player to go through it, but I think that if there's enough space, it's really easy for the player to just walk around. And that's not what I want. Because then what happens is that you'll be walking in this hopefully really creepy but cool zone, and eventually you'll get tired of all the creepy cool stuff, which you usually do because you get used to it, right? You might still like it, but you get used to it. So the effect it has, the initial effect, will diminish quite a lot. And then you will find one of these statues, the seer, and you'll notice it the first time. You're like, oh shit, it's lighting up. What should I do? You realize nothing happens. You walk near it, nothing happens. You might the first time just to trigger the effect. You see, what the hell is this? You might go into it and trigger the chase. You may become the target. But then you realize, oh, so it's the red light. Once it's red, I'm the target. So as long as it's not red, I'm fine. And that's the thing. Right now, you need to be really close to make that light turn red. So I think we need to do some updates to that mechanic. Make it more sudden. Have the player be more on their toes when they walk around, looking for these. I had an idea of making versions of the statue. Some don't do anything, and some does. And the one that does something, you can kind of tell, because you have to stop and kind of look at it. Is that one of those that's going to do whatever it needs to do? Alternatively, we can do like one of those red light, green light stuff. A version of it, not exactly what's in Squid Game or before Squid Game. What we could do is, as long as it's not lit, you can walk near it. But as soon as it's lit, you need to stand and stop. The challenge then becomes, how do you communicate to that to the player? In a way that's not like, hey, look at this, don't walk right now. It's more like, something happens, you stop, and maybe the light. Okay, what if we do that? The light could stop if you stop. Like, you move, it lights up, you stop and wait for a few seconds. But will you do that though? Or will you just continue walking? I think chances are, unless I do something more, a player would just keep walking. Yeah. But I'm gonna keep Diablo in mind. See if I can find some cool stuff to add to it. I'm looking at this. I'm gonna have to place a ton of these. I think for now, how about we do this? Wait, do I see them? Oh, there we go. I mean, that's not a terrible effect. The idea of walking up and all of a sudden you see this. That's just way too sudden. But I can just do this. And I walk this way. And I'm fine, right? And you have that. I'm not super dissatisfied with that effect. It needs polish. Yeah, absolutely. It needs a lot of polish. So what I'm thinking right now And I'm in this stage that where I'm questioning everything I'm doing. And I think that I'll likely have, I'm gonna try this, and a few minutes later I'm like, you know what, I need to try this instead. And those are lessons learned, I hope, and not me running around like a blind man trying to find his way. Now I think what we have now is that we can build a small slice. So what I need to do is limit the area where the player can walk, and then do some more polish. I think that's yeah, I think that could be a decent one. So with that said, I'm gonna add a new cube. I'm gonna add a wall and encapsulate this part. I feel like I'm really doing unnecessary stuff, like, hey, creating this big area and then just removing the part you can't have access to it. But I think I need to do it. So let's go with you. And that part, let's see if I scale you up to something like this. Let's go with 150. Y could still be a full meter. You need to be 10. And I think it could be in that part. Okay. Is it? Yes. Okay, so I need to grab you, add it to this wall. Back up here, I'm going to add it like that. Next, let's duplicate you and make it to 200. We'll add you like this, turn you around, stop you at that stage. Oh god, really slow. What's this? Oh, come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're all invited to go fucking mental on this motherfucking drop. The countdown.
Okay, that makes things easier for me. And okay, we're going to do this. I'm gonna add you to this section. Alright, and then the player could either decide to go one of these directions. And if it goes up this part, you're eventually going to meet this guy. Which means that if you go this, you will get past. But if you go this way, I want you to immediately run into this guy. Alright. Then let's continue that process. If you go that way, this person, this statue will be right here. And then you would have one like this. I mean, it is quite easy to get past all this, right? So what if I just walk straight on? If I do that, I could barely see you. Weren't they a lot stronger earlier? Are you floating or something? Okay, there's music though. Let's skip it. these bots. Okay. So should we increase this fog? Let's just skip that for now. So let's say you're managed to get past all of these, which is not hard at this stage. Then you'll get to this area. Right. And you'll get to this, and you can click it, and you're done. I'm gonna need a quick break. Head to the bathroom. I'll be back in, I'm gonna aim for 5 minutes. Let's see. So, see you in 5.
Ripping harder, more less. Never stop, no rest. Till the stress is breath in my chest. Till it's diamonds wrapping my neck. Progress to a god from a god. Mass hopeless, more tests. More blessed. Dug deep down, trying to find my best. Find a beast, had to kill a conquest. I'm next. I'm too on till I'm too off. Come down, make new thoughts. Like jumping off of that rooftop. Whole life never when I knew not to make moves based on my mood drops. Like who's lost? Like who's lost? It's yours. Steadily killing me, running my brain full of shame. I don't wanna lose it. I'm full of stage, trying to find my pain. I see some coming out of that rain. My day really not tame. I'ma never slow down. I'ma never behave. Stuck inside this prison, inside this cave. It's taking over. I'm
All right. Back. Where were we? Bum, bum, bum. Let's add the eye and the tracer, path trace spline, which is located BP path. No, you're not the one. That's the one I'm looking for. So let's add you in top view. Okay. Then I need to go to this part. Okay. There we go. What? Alright, never mind. Couldn't see the spline. It's kind of confusing. And we're going with a... Let's add you to roughly the center, which is... Let's go with that. And we're going with 100. Moving you out to these parts. I'm going for the like a circle type of thing. Like something like a circle. Almost rectangle, I guess. Let's go with that. Now that I look at it, should we also add... I mean, you have a path. It's kind of blocked in this direction. You could do it down that way. We could add another one of these. Like this. And I don't need this. So we're always going to see one of them at least. Not sure if it's a smart idea, but it is something I'm going with, I think. Don't know. Let's try it out. Why are you flying in the air? What? Because it's all up in the air. Where are you? All right. Okay. Go down with you. Down, down, down. Then we're adding you to where's the center of this thing? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 5. So I would say this is roughly center, and I need to move you up. That's next will be the XB. That's a Y beam, all right. Let's keep it. It is X beam because it's moving next, but so I need this one. I do it like this instead. Nope, come on. Okay. Let's go with 40, 60, 50, 50 is good enough. You move it, but can't. I don't know what's what. Okay. Alright, never mind. Let's make it something like this. Add it to play. No? What's going on? It is moving the way I hoped. What it's not doing though, or it's rather what this thing is doing, the pulse tracer, is that it's moving too fast. And why are you... God dang it. Didn't I fix this last time? I'm pretty sure I did. Why is it? I'm 100% sure I fixed this in the last stream. Where this guy should start at this stage, but it's not doing it. Let's open. And what I'm doing... Alright, first we should look at, is it even detecting the spline? Game mode, fair. It is detecting a spline, alright. Fair enough. So what we're looking at the gameplay, it is detecting the spline. And you can be moving on. Never mind. So this part works. Which means if spline get all active class, yes. Check this. Let's also do a log. Let's call it what? Numbers? Call it that instead. Right. We're doing it that way. If I look at it, is it not character not found? Stop. Why are you doing that? Character is found. What do you mean character not found? It's done that before. What's the play state? Character not found is in this. So on begin play, it's not finding the character, so I'm assuming then that it looks for the character, but the character has yet to spawn. And therefore it says, hey, I can't find the character. But I'm assuming this is actually not a good way to do this. Instead, I should probably update this. So where am I finding the character? I'm initializing it in this. That's really dumb, isn't it? Yeah. I want to do it this way. I mean, some part of me has probably had a good reason for it. Number of path traces 1. Yes. Alright. So we can turn you off. I don't need you to be a warning, I need you to be a display. Which means it's simply, we now know all of these. So the issue is then further down, gets the first key. Path tries to spine. No, it's in the there we go. Yeah, so I have one. And once that's done, it gets the first key, which is adds to path tracer component. And the path tracer component is used where? Up once. That's just that part. Return trace laser. Why is your okay? What we're looking at is that I need. Do I need this? No, I think it's a problem. A different problem. Let's try something. Not gonna work. It's off return. But I want to try it. That's not what I want. What I want is text. That. Like that. This is a vector, therefore I need. Oh, I'm way off on it. Just a second. I need to do this. There we go. Then I need to do path trace components, find trace location, make it into a string, and that should return whatever this is. What are you? You need to end if. Okay, just another check for. It said it was like 5 or 6 of them. And what am I doing here? Eye location towards target. Let's see what results I get from this. Yeah, that's not what I'm after. This is. That's all fair and dandy. And once you get this, you should be. Yeah, I need to see something. What I want to see is when it gets close to this. Is it even? It's not even catching up, is it? So I think the movement of the eye, the speed of it is decent. It's the tracer that's just way too fast. That's not okay. So that's not the only issue I'm having right now. It's one of the things I'm noticing. So I'm gonna make you 0.5 instead. What I'm noticing also is the eye is starting way out here. I do not know why, because this worked all well and done. It worked at a previous test. Not sure why it's no longer working, and it is. What is it? It's this part plus this part or something along those lines. Yes. Where are you located? Where are you located? Yes. So when it needs to be on begin play, isn't it? And begin play, it's right here. And I think this is the issue. Find new location. Okay, so let's see. If spline exists, which it does, fair enough. Actually, let's do this. Spline found. Let's go with that. Just so I can see where it is, I'm just going to do a warning. I'm going to remove this once we're done. I just want to make sure it's actually fine in the spline. Wait, when are we actually doing the... Is it before or after we collect everything? It is after, definitely after. So it looks for this, finds it, goes into this part, and does all of these things. Awesome. So, what I should see now is, let's stop. So if I go back to the top, spline found. Awesome. And I'm also going to remove that path tracer thing. We can start by removing this. We don't need that anymore. And location, tracer location, we don't need that anymore. I expect not to need it anymore, at least. Okay, so path tracer, spine, find component. This should work because I did enter this, and get location at spline point. Again, why am I doing that? Didn't I change that at some point, or did I not save it? So that's the problem, because I did revert so many changes. Was it these the changes I reverted? That's so dumb if I did. Yeah, because what I want to is I'm looking at spline. And spline contains something. And what I want is to get location at spline point. And the spline point is going to be in the 0 index, and it's going to be at the E spline. Isn't it E spline? Coordinate space world. Then the new location will be do I need that part? This is no longer at the center of the world. I think I mentioned this in the last time why this could not work. I'm gonna try something. Because what I didn't want it to do is to start at the same, like perfectly on the spline, because that would be the eyes on the ground. Now it should be above it. The problem is I don't think the added vector will offset it also in the X and Y, because the component location of the eye isn't 0, 0, and something in Z, which is what I want to be offset upwards. So I probably should need to remove that and just make it like a gaze offset type of thing. And I think I have a gaze offset. It does sound like I say gay offset. I'm not. Gaze. I'm saying gaze, which I don't seem to have. Eye offset. I have an eye offset. What are you doing? Okay. Not sure what's up with that part. Well, not sure what this is. Never seen it before. It does looks like it's telling me that I've made a change on an instance. Is that unreal? Well, let's try this. I'm just gonna update. Well, I'm expecting to see. Because if I look at the Emperor Gaze, yeah, there's an offset in X. So I'm expecting it to start way over here, and that's probably why it's happening. I think that's why it's happening. So I'm gonna do that. We're gonna do this. It is, yeah, I think that's the one. That's the reason why it's happening. So let's just do, instead of eye mesh, let's do eye offset instead. With that, I'm expecting the eye to start in this section, where I assume 0 is. So let's do that, there you go, okay. What about the rotation though? I can see shit. Right. Do I have a point light? I do have a point light. It's not shooting down. That's because this thing, the cube, doesn't have the correct collision, does it? Resets should be custom, and it needs to be line trace. It needs to be block. It could potentially be overlap. There we go. In terms of speed, it's way behind. So I either need to speed up the eye, or I need to slow down the tracer. And I think we're going for the tracer needs to slow down. Needs to slow down even more. All right, okay, awesome. That's too slow. So it's not 0.1. Let's do 0.8 then. What the hell? 0.7. Still too fast. I'm not sure if I'm actually affecting it. What speed are you on? I'm pretty sure I have a movement speed. That's 240. 120. I'm just doing a lot of small tweaking right now. That need to pass through. Probably should. Recompile that. So I think I need to give this a bit of a think because it's hard to dial in the speed. I do want it to be roughly the same as the player, I think. Yeah. I'll continue working like I'm doing right now. There's not much left of the day. And I'll figure something out until what's next day? I think it's Wednesday. It's the next stream. And at that point, hopefully we'll have something more to focus on, a real focus point. I feel like I'm really going a bit all over the place right now. Which isn't really true. I'm learning, that's the thing. I am doing a learning process. Although it might seem all over the place for someone else, I am understanding things a bit more. And I'm gonna try, let's just dampen you a lot. Where are you? I mean, I just want to see you slow down a lot. Still faster. Is it? I'm not sure if this is. Okay, now I'm even more confused. I might need complete rework of this system. Because I can, as a player, I can walk up to it. I set the eye to be 120 movements, which means I shouldn't be able to walk up because I don't think the player, or is the player 100 more than 120? Am I more than 120? I probably can look that from the level. So, where's the movement speed? Walk speed. Walk speed is 160. Is it really? Okay, so what if we then go give you also 160. Let's do that. This, that. Looking at the top. This is still running away from me. Is it picking up speed? I don't know. And as a player, can I walk? I can still walk up to it. Okay. I need to do a rework on that. Alternatively, I'm actually thinking of completely abandoning the eye component stuff and figure something else out. Which is the idea for me to I think I'd rather go with a slightly different mechanic. The sand stuff is definitely going to be still be there. And I like the idea of using a lantern with limited resource, forcing the player to be smart. Though I do probably need to add some kind of incentive to pick up stuff. Yeah, I think the system needs a complete rework. I need to think a lot more about that. So instead of working in Unreal, I should probably start doing some thinking on this side. Let's see. Are you correct? You are. Okay, so let's go with layers. Let's add a color to you. Can I make you default? Is there a way to make this default? Image properties, sure. Excellent. No. Do I need to do that each time? No, there's a settings over here. Dark mode. Is that all? Defining profile. I don't need to do that. Really? Paint? I mean, I'm not expecting a lot. Recent print share. Can I do something like this? That is default. That's nice. But I would love to be able to set this also as default black. There we go. Alright, so what are the things I want? So the mechanics I have. One. Can I make you slightly thicker? So the first mechanic. The eye, which chases the player. Second mechanic will be, I assume, let's go with the detecting aspect. Third will be to get rid of being target, so remove target, I guess. All right. Which means player, or this is the player, can walk up to a seer and be detected, and the eye would then start chasing. However, the player can right now easily just outmaneuver the seer and just walk past it. It's really simple. But what if I had something that makes the seer more likely to detect you? Like a small object that you would hold, which would also repel the fog, so you would have a circle around you. Put it down. Why would you put it down though? Because it's slowly draining your sanity. Could that be a thing? What about that? What if we have a mechanic where as you hold an object, which helps you navigate, it drains your sanity. But what if you put it down? Does that increase your sanity then? I'm not sure if that's fun. Like, grab this thing, walk around, lose sanity, and also be detected by statues. Put it down, you see nothing. Your sanity goes up or stays stable, but you're no longer detected by seers. But you won't go anywhere because you can't see anything. So you would pick it up again. Feels like I'm doing a mechanic where they pick it up, avoid the seers, put it down, rest for a while, pick it up, go, rest for a while. And you keep doing that. Yes, that's not what I want. It's been a it's been a bit frustrating this part. I think I've been at this idea of not knowing what my mechanics, the relationship between them, like how they interact with each other. I haven't had a proper grasp on it for like 2 weeks, I would say. So for the past 2 weeks, progress has been really slow. So I need something, an inspiration, new idea to pick this up. So the game that brought sanity to my attention, like for the first time, that was Amnesia, right? See if I can spell it. I think it's spelled this way. And their sanity stuff was easy. Look at the creature, and your sanity goes down. Stay in the dark too long, your sanity goes down. You can't restore sanity passively. You need to use something like, I can't remember the name of it, Bitea, Aqua, Bitea, something like that, that increases your sanity again. And these were the mechanics. Simple. And sanity could kill you. Right? If you're insane too long, it killed you. Perhaps I should just make something like this. Keep it simple really as simple as possible. Kind of remove this for a while. Stop thinking about it. Stop thinking about this for a while. And also this. Just focus on this. To get that to a point where, like, I feel this could be fun. This could be my main mechanic. However, I think instead of something to consume, I want something that you can walk up to, and that will restore you. I do have something I call a regeneration station. Kind of thinking of if you have some kind of bowl and something holding the bowl like this, probably sitting on like their knees on a pedestal, and I guess you can say it's a consumable in that case, but it's also not permanent, so if I use it, it's gone. I think simplifying my level design that way is probably a good idea. What I could then do is probably use these seers as one way to consume more sanity. Looking at my watch, I still have quite a bit of time left. That's nice. I think I'm at the crossroad right now. I think I've said that a few times this stream. But the crossroad I'm looking at right now is one of kill your darling. And simplify stuff. I think so. I think what I'm going to scale things down. I think that could I keep saying think. Scaling it down will help me get a better grasp of what I'm trying to create. And so I want a feeling of dread, right? Like you are walking in this dark. It doesn't have to be pitch black. It just needs to be darker than bright. Yeah, you heard me. It needs to be darker than bright. That's the thing, right? So I think this red part, going from the minutia sanity mechanic, have that feel decent, and working with this regeneration stuff is a way forward for me. The eye is way too complicated. No, that's not correct. It's not way too complicated, but I'm not in a place where I feel I can use it properly. Detection, it's going to be in the game, but in a different state, rather than what it is right now. I think it needs to be updated to something else. Remove targets. We're no longer targets. We are losing sanity as we walk around. And as we walk around, we will start seeing things. Weird stuff. This is meant to be an eye. Yeah, that is an eye. Don't complain. You who aren't watching. So, let's bring this in. And we'll go with... Let's actually put you over here. And... Can I... Is there a way to do that? Can I show just the window? This is new. This is fun. Can I just show a window as a scene? I have window capture. Let's try that. Make source. Oh. Okay. Capture method. I want to make. Match title, sure. You don't need to capture audio. I assume you all want to see the mouse, so let's keep that. Okay. Don't need it to be this big. And we'll put it to the side. Like this. So that makes sense. Kinda does. And I need my... I kinda like that. Hopefully you all also like it. So the window capture needs to be above. You can lock it in place. Let's lock the mic too, just in case. So how about this? Right? Does that mean if I do this? Oh, perfect. Alright. So this is what I've made my to-do list, and there are a few things. What happens if I do that? Does it hide? I think it does. Okay, so I can't make the change the size. So let's keep it as is. And I'm also going to clean it up a bit. This is the fun part of video game creation. Let's... Me and my dumb thumbs and fingers. I want that. There you go. To-dos. There we go. Nope. There we go. Actually, that's what I want. we're gonna do a rework. So let's call it that. Rework the main game mechanics. That will mean we need to do one. No, let's do one because it's high priority, I think. No, it's actually, let's do that. So the first thing I want to do is rework the sanity meter, and I guess the lantern can stay. So let's call it a copy of Amnesia, but with the twist. Okay. Let's just do that for now. Copy the sanity and lantern mechanic from from Amnesia. And I'm gonna have to rework that maybe, or not. No, let's just keep copy. So that's where I want to start. So we're going to start with the copy. Once we have a copy, we want to do something else to it, which could be revise. We're going to revise the regeneration station mechanic to what? It is updated. Do I need to do that? So the way the mechanic works at this stage right now is that when you walk up to it, you can use lantern oil. In return, you will get a full sanity. But will you have it? No, I'm actually, instead of revise, I think I will keep it as is, but I need to check that it's actually working. Check that the regenerate there, mechanic is still working properly. So with that, I now have a way to regenerate my sanity if it's low. I don't have to do it, but I could do it. But it's a one-time thing. Then, should I be able to find ways to add back lantern oil, or whatever we want to call it, fuel. Let's call it fuel. I think I want options to that, pick up like a pickup thing. Because what we then can do, we can spread it out. We can create a quite a large level, have the player walk around, avoid sanity using their oil. Alright, so we'll make it a lot simplified. We're simplifying the stuff right now, which is add a consumable. Let's add a pick up and consumable. Item to restore lantern. Let's to restore to fill up on fuel. So let's go with that. And let's stop at that, because what I have now is the basics, and that I can add to this. So if I can get this to feel decent, it's not going to be amazing or fun or super interesting. But what I can do then is, on top of all this, add some cool events. Like, your sanity is low, therefore now you don't see as well. Or if it's reached a certain point, you can all of a sudden, there's a fog, a proper fog, like starts entering your vision, and you're like, holy shit, what's going on? You can hear stuff whispering. You can create an environment, and that would make it feel more of the horror I'm going for. I don't want that horror where you have to run from stuff. I want it to be feelings. The pace will be slow, but in return you'll experience more weird stuff happening. And that's why I think the eye stuff kind of went against that. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's why I've been feeling the eye was a cool idea. I think the idea of having, so it came to be when I had an inspiration or creative, like that idea of you're walking down a court in a sense. You were presenting yourself in front of the emperor. Well, presenting might not be the right word. You were walking down a big open room, and at the end you had a big scary emperor, a big statue. Think of solo leveling. I got for you guys to know, in solo leveling there is a big statue that is traumatized, that has traumatized the main character. I was inspired, at least I think unconsciously, by that. So having that at the end of the room, and you had to walk towards it, and on the way you would encounter obstacles such as these hidden in plain sight, because you would be surrounded by these court royalties, statues, stone statues that's supposed to represent other nobilities at the court, just having their normal like networking stuff, right? But among them will be what I've been calling court seers. They will be able to detect you as a player, and if they saw you, the eye that was part of the emperor, or initially it was just the emperor was just starting to look for you. Where are you? Where are you? I can't see you. And if it saw you, you would lose sanity. And you would be able to avoid the gaze by avoiding the seers. But if you became the target, you could walk up to another statue, which I called the Empress. And the Empress, in my mind, the canon, was that she opposed the cruel emperor. But she was also victim because she had to be part of the court. You know, the usual stuff. It's a political marriage. She doesn't really want to be there, so she opposes the emperor by helping you. So it felt a mix between like a chessboard, solo leveling. You had the sanity mechanic and everything. But as I've worked on it, I feel less intrigued. Maybe the premise is still intriguing, but I'm not in love with the mechanics. Partially because I haven't been able to get it down in a way that feels good, fun, playable. So with this new direction, I think things could be a lot easier for me. So instead of creating an amazing, fun, creative design, which of course I do want that, but now I can work with my strengths, which is I'm an environment artist. Like, that's my backbone. That's the biggest, the largest source of experience I have. So I can create a world that's more interesting atmospherically, and the mechanic is simpler, but it adds to the atmosphere of, hey, you're going insane, start looking, start exploring. You need to find something that helps you keep going, which is really Amnesia. Then with that, once I have that down, I can start looking into more stuff, so I can start introducing more lore. Probably lore will be fun. Why are we in this, whatever it is? Yeah, I'm more confident that this could be a better direction. Probably need a better. I need to find and purchase a new water bottle. This is from an old workplace. I think it's like 75 centiliters. 7.5. No, 75 centiliters. My head. What else do I need to do? So if I go this direction, I don't need to do the check linear motion stuff. I can remove that. Up and then expand the test level. We've done that. We've added this. I am going to remove those. I'm also deleting this. We don't need it. What else do we have? Update reference image. No, this needs to be reworked to something else. And yes, we can remove that too. Game mode not found. I think I looked at that. Didn't I? I think I did. We don't need these. Outline the flow. Outline the flow. Right, so that's back to something I mentioned earlier. If we wanted some kind of repelling fog mechanic, we could still technically use that, but instead of always having the windows, we could create a part of a new level, like similar to how Amnesia had sections where you had to run away from that water monster, which you never saw. It was probably the scariest monster of all. We could have a similar thing, but using the fog repelling object. I think we're going to keep that, but we're going to rework that to something else. Let's call this secondary mechanic. Game mechanics. Let's call it concepts. And the first concept would then be a fog repelling object, and let's call it section of the main game level. Don't need this. Well, we definitely need a sound library at some point. Very soon, likely. And I need to look into how to do that. Go through the sandbox. We're not going to do that yet. I'm going to remove it. Material. That's something for my later. I'm going to move that. And I'm going to remove this. Alright, so now we're streamlined. Whatever I'm going to do in the future. Actually, I'm going to do that. Separate them a bit. Okay. It feels good. I love it when I reach these points where I start overthinking things, complicated things. And I love that feeling when I take a few steps back and look at what it is I'm trying to do and just streamline it into like, these are the steps you need to take. Because it feels more structured. I feel like I'm focusing on something. While earlier and previously you have this wide range of stuff. Just stuff. It doesn't feel like there's any purpose to them. You just added them because, oh, it was an idea. I need to do this. Yeah. I tend to work that way, but I don't want to work that way. I want this streamlined and stuff. Give me a few steps that if I do it, I'll make ton of progress. And not ton in such like I do a lot of tasks. It's more like one of these tasks are worth a lot because they are so well structured that once they're done, I'll have made a lot of progress. So this is what I like. And anything else? So I have roughly like 90 minutes left. And I'm not making much more progress today. So I'll likely end it slightly early. Let's see. Probably need to do a different scene for this. Let's just call it that for now. You? No. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. The one I want is... Sorry, just a second. I'm trying to do something here in OBS, and I'm screwing it up royally. By that, then I need my video capture to be like that. I need a new camera, or I need to update the settings because it feels like I'm looking at myself in a different ratio than I actually streaming. Okay, I'm just gonna do that. There we go. Okay. So starting on Tuesday, I am going to focus this. I'll have a few other stuff that needs to be done during the weekdays of like Monday and Tuesday. Also, I do have my other job, so this is not a full-time thing. So hopefully, which is my goal, this is my goal to make sure I have clear goals for Wednesday. So when I do get back, when I do start streaming again, I'll be able to quickly, with focus, attack certain stuff. And this is probably the list I just made. It's going to be the list I'll follow, at least for, I'd say, in a week or two. And I think that would be it today. I had 2 great sessions. This entire week has been amazing. Yesterday was fun. Had my first chatter. That was fun. And I hope to see more people. But I assume that my streams needs some improvements. Needs to be more fun. Needs to be more interactive stuff. What's on the screen needs to be more fun to watch. And I think we'll get there in the near future. I do have an aim. One of the goals I have with each stream is to try and improve it ever so slightly. And I think we have something going on with the new capture of... Actually, I'm going to try something before I end the day. What if I put you over here? Now I have a dedicated spot for my to-do list. And if I then go... Could it just be a default thing then? I mean... I think that could work, right? So, anyway. If you see this in the future, I'm Pete. I make games. I'm a new streamer. And I would love for you to join me. So if you find my content interesting, please give me a follow. I would love that. But if you can't do that, then join me one day. See what I'm doing. If you find me fun, then reconsider. And with that, I hope to see more people engaging with my chat and everything while I'm doing here. Because I love to share. I'm saying something really dumb. I would love to share my experience, and I would love to hear your experience, your ideas, your content stuff, what you're working on. I had a good talk yesterday with another game developer in chat. That was fun. So I would love to have more of those. So in the future, please, if you're around, join me and we'll have some fun. And with that, I'm gonna stop rambling. I'll see you all on Wednesday. All right, bye bye.